Okay, we're on. Ladies and gentlemen, Droopy McGobbler here. Thank you for tuning in to hear what issues forth today from the Jowls of Justice. That's right, even though the camera is showing you, for those who are watching the visual feed, that I do in fact have taut and supple facial skin and a chiseled jawline. Rest assured, as I always say, that my inner self possesses jowls that make Joe Lieberman look like a supermodel, and a gobbler, a turkey gobbler, that makes Chris Christie look absolutely unauthoritative whatsoever. In fact, with those jowls, I should have run for governor. Because, well, you know about jowls and politics. I don't even feel about like talking about it today. But I won't talk about the election. I won't. This is not a political show. It was going to be a political show, but the first time I did it, I had forgotten to read the news that morning, and I was running late, and then I didn't care. So I just sat down here and talked. Then I've been giving all sorts of disclaimers lately because, you know, we're applying for FCC approval, and, pardon me, and, I'm a little wary, I won't say frightened, of some of the regulations and not transgressing them. So I was saying, you guys know not to do stuff that's illegal, right? And that you should never move construction barricades or possess a DPW vest if you're not a city worker and create a fake construction site that lasts all summer. You know, that's illegal. And, you know that I'm a semi-fictional character. Right, and the one thing I will say is that don't forget, some of what I say may sound crazy to you, but I have been certified sane by your very own Milwaukee County Mental Health Department. Just a couple months ago, I fooled those suckers good. Yes, I did. So, yeah. Turns out, I just, like I said, started school again. I'm taking one class at the Milwaukee School of Engineering this summer, the first subterm, and 3 the next subterm, which starts in middle of July. So that qualifies me as a full-time student. So I can get lots of, the student bus pass, discounts on haircuts, all that kind of good stuff. Which is nice because I'm getting a little old for that. And, I almost feel like pardon me. I don't care if you're not supposed to promote commercial enterprises. You can cut this part out later. But I just had a cannoli from Shortino's Bakery, right, that I've lived around for years now and actually never been to. Pretty darn good. Obviously not Caruso's from Utica, but I'm not in Utica. Although, if you remember last week, the explanation of the cannoli effect, right? I should actually bring a giant, basically a log over to Caruso's next time I'm in Utica. Hopefully Mama Caruso's still alive, but she's one of those ladies that probably still is. And get them to actually make a 3-foot long, foot in diameter, 20 or 30 pound cannoli. Because why not? I'm a media personality now. I can just record it and write it off as a business expense, right? So anyway, about being a media personality, that's what makes me feel like a ringer in that class, which is certainly a good thing. Because believe it or not, this silly SOB that you're listening to, actually made it through college once and got a degree. I fooled those suckers good too. But, I don't like it very much. So I had it hanging on my wall, and going back for another one. Too bad they're not doctorates, though, because here in the United States, by convention, you can be a MD, PhD, SCD, and EDD, and if you get all of those, then you've probably got ADD or OCD, and you're still just called doctor, right? And I would be Dr. Droopy or Dr. McGobbler. However, in Germany and Austria, you get to add extra doctors to your name. you can be up to Dr. Droopy McGobbler. After that, it's just written as Dr. Malt. So that's not, I wouldn't even get a fifth doctorate. I'd just stick with 4 and insist that everybody call me Dr. Droopy. But at any rate, so I'm in this public speaking class, and, come on. I'm already a radio host. To give 5 or 6 minute speeches? Heck, I can do it with my eyes closed. Well, I can't, because then I wouldn't be paying attention to my audience, and I get docked a point for, bad nonverbal communication or whatever. But at any rate, that's it's a good thing. Makes it a little bit easier. My first speech was, my 5 or 6 minute speech lasted 15 minutes, and actually nobody cut me off or told me to wrap up or anything like that. And unlike this, where I can just talk without fear of you guys, telling me to wind down or whatever. Because if you call up and you want to say that, then I'll just hang up on you, unless I don't feel like it. Because as I always say, feel free, everybody, call in, say anything, as long as you can avoid cursing. Because if I can, you can. That being said, all right, nobody has ever called in. So give me a call at 414-935-2951, and I might even put you on the air. You can even insult me, and this is the only situation in which I'll just take that kind of guff. So don't waste this opportunity. In fact, I might call you from that line. So if you see that number, 414-935-2951, you better answer it, because then you're going to be on the radio. Who doesn't want to be on the radio? Well, obviously not me, because I'm on the radio. That being said, my 15-minute, 5-minute speech not only was long-winded, but also was about, a subject that we can't really discuss that much on the radio, because apparently there are even those regulations that say that I can't talk about, or they limit how much I can talk about flatulence. But it was about flatulence. And this was a letter that I was talking about, written by Ben Franklin to the Royal Academy of Science in Brussels. So you can look it up, and see what I'm talking about. Yeah, Ben Franklin was a pretty cool dude. Nah, I don't want to go on. I don't want to do Franklin today. Too bad I already did Andrew Jackson last week, because he's awesome. He's my favorite president. Nixon, of course, being second. Oh, hey, somebody's ringing in. Awesome. Hey, how do I answer it and put somebody
Push the
on?
white button.
The white button?
And then,
Wait, does that mean somebody's calling? That
yes.
button? Oops. So then they're on? Droopy McGobbler here. You're on the crud.
well, just tell them to call back.
Hey,
It'll
whoever...
be line 1 and that one, and you want to bring this up when it comes up.
Okay. Cool, sounds good. Hey, whoever just called me, call back. I don't think I have any of the... This is kind of a cruddy phone. We should have one with caller ID. All right. But whoever you are, if you don't call back in a minute, then the line will be busy, because I'll be calling somebody else. So anyway, remember that, if you remember from last week, that the ultimate, in my opinion, legendary weapon, better than Excalibur or even the Spear of Destiny, is Andrew Jackson's Cane of Righteousness, which can make guns jam and reflect attacks back upon the user. Look it up. At any rate, Nixon. Oh yeah, Nixon. He's not actually just my favorite president because of the jowls. I mean, he's well known for jowls. Don't get me wrong. Right? He's almost not only are jowls a requisite part of doing any sort of Nixon impression, but, Nixon, when somebody thinks of Nixon, they always think of his jowls. Even if they're not obsessed with such things as I am, they, if you think of Nixon, you'll probably at least put an image in your head of him with his jowls. And the might of those formidable jowls got quite a lot of things done for this country. And in fact, if you notice, before the, shortly before, and certainly during the scandals and all that kind of thing, his jowls sort of flattened a little bit. And you could tell that he wasn't, he, even as president still, he didn't have the same sort of authority and respectability. Somebody's calling in. Awesome. Yo, you're on the radio. What?
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Not really.
Ow! What do you mean, not really? You just...
It's Narissa.
Oh, hey, Narissa, what's up? So can you hear me?
Shit.
I can hear you just fine. And I think so can they.
I can't hear you at all, but I'm...
What? Hell. Wait, can you hear me now?
No, I can't really.
How do you know what I'm saying if you can't hear me?
It's really quiet.
Okay. Hey, whoever. My caller here says that it's really quiet. How do I fix that?
And you're on delay from my live stream.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Wait, what? I don't know.
But
Hold
I'm
on.
just raining from
I'm
the
both-
River West Co-op.
Okay, I'm both talking into the mic and the handset of the phone, so yeah.
Oh wait, there you go. You're better now.
She can't hear me very well.
Yeah, okay. Can she hear you when you talk here?
Hey, how about this? Do you hear me better now? Do you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Hello.
yeah. So anyway, what's up?
I'm listening to your radio show,
Well, good, thank you. What else?
and it's totally boring, man.
I know, isn't it? So give me something interesting.
You're killing me slowly, dude.
Oh, I'm drawing a blank. I'm not even kidding. I'm drawing a blank like a beep beep blip because
That's okay.
I think I've gone through. I can't just get rolling on anything. I don't know. Not even Nixon. And I listen to Nixon tapes for entertainment like other people listen to music. I can't talk about him, obviously, on the radio, right? Because all the stuff that I think he says is funny as heck.
But I'm playing you live right now at the River West Co-op, so everybody who's coming through here can hear you.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, cool. Give me something interesting to talk about. What you got?
And it's a produce day. And
Produce
if you
day.
volunteer, you get 15% total off it. All produce. No, 25%, sorry.
Cool.
So,
You got anything cool like persimmons or ugly fruit or prickly pears or star fruit? Any of that sort of thing?
We have nothing cool here. It's all organic and
I
local.
know. Yeah, I go there a lot.
I know, you live like a block away from here.
Yeah. Well, I used to live like a block away. Now I live a few blocks away. But yeah, local organic garlic, that stuff's great. And, you guys got good apples and stuff, too. Right.
I'm listening to the radio show and you on the phone, so I can't really follow what you're saying.
Oh, well, let's see. Aren't you on your cell phone? Why don't you step outside with the cell phone?
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Because, no, I get exactly what you're talking about, that stereo effect when one is on a delay or whatever, like when you've got two extension phones picked up and you're talking on both of them, right?
Yeah, I'm on delay and echo.
Well, you sound fine to me.
Here's the deal. I want to hear everything you have to say about meditation and Buddha.
About meditation and Buddha? Well,
if you're going to bore them to death, why not, drive the nail even further?
I'll have to prepare for that one.
No, off the top of your head, whatever you got in there.
Okay, I actually do meditate, various, when I remember to, right, various different sorts. I use sometimes the Taoist and empty mind style that's mentioned in one of the verses of the Tao Te Ching.
Hey, brother, run with that.
Right.
And if anybody out there has something to say about it, call in. I got to go back to volunteering. Peace.
All right, cool. Peace out. Okay, yeah, so you guys heard her. Today, I'm doing really boring, and I admit it. So somebody had better call up and give me something interesting. It's good to have listeners, right? And don't get me wrong, any publicity is good publicity, right? So if you guys hate me and say, wow, that guy's boring, that guy's a jerk, whatever, right? Then you're still talking about me. And that would be pretty awesome, because then everybody else will tune in, right, to hear this boring idiot, and that's fine with me. It's like the thing where I don't know why, right? This is something that I don't get. This is a psychological question that I've been wondering about for years. How come, okay, when somebody says, oh my God, it smells terrible over here, right? Or open up a container, oh my God, right? This smells rotten. How come people don't just trust them? No, of course not. They say, oh, let me see. Oh, that's terrible. I wish I hadn't smelled that. So that sounds like a trick to me. Here, come here and smell this thing that I just told you was terrible. That doesn't make any sense. I might as well say, yep, you betcha, that stinks. All right, now get it out of here. All right? Or, oh my God, this kind of soda or beer or whatever, this tastes awful. This is swill. This is the worst thing I've ever had. Here, have a sip. All right, and you try it. Oh, that's rotten. You're absolutely right. Well, I mean, of course he's right. I told you right out front that it sucks. Why subject yourself to it? But the exception is for my boring radio show. You should definitely tune in and get in a little circle and insult me. Get all your friends to tune in, all that sort of stuff. There's a few interesting people, and I hope they're listening right now. There's a few interesting people I know that I can see right from this window who don't seem to want to be on this show, don't want to call in, and don't want to stop by. Just stop by. Come here, sit down. I got 3 mics. Hold on a second. I'm going to find somebody to call. So anyway, this stupid public speaking class. You know what? You guys can edit me out. I say this to the management. I talked about farting. Ben Franklin wrote a letter to the Royal Academy about farting. And that is pretty awesome. But that's as far as I'm going to go. Because I think, like I said, it's me who actually has to edit these things eventually. I'm responsible for it once we get the license, archive. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, let me see. Who have I got here? I don't know. Everybody on my phone sucks. Let's see. Belvin Perry's Bullfrog. We already got that out of the way last week. I don't know. This never happens to me. Maybe because I'm in a public... Oh, that's my shopping list. Bread. Let's see. Milk. Enriched lithium-6 deuteride. Let's see. Eggs and cereal. Right. Cool. No, that's the wrong list too here. Oh, yeah. Okay. How about this? No, that sucks too. So anyway, I will talk about politics, because with the election, right? Honestly, I didn't like either candidate, so I wrote in Vladimir Putin, and he should be president of the United States, right, as well as Russia, because that would solve a lot of problems, and governor of Wisconsin, because you want to talk about boring. This is about the most boring state I've ever been in. New Jersey, don't forget, Wisconsin is only the second worst state, because Jersey is just an armpit. That place is man, I can't even believe. Ooh, good, I'm insulting Wisconsin. Hopefully somebody's calling in to give me guff. Hey, you're on the radio. What's up?
Tom, it's Narissa again.
Oh, hey, what you got?
I'm falling asleep.
Okay.
And something about Ben Franklin, I don't know. But I want to hear about ethics on working on computers.
Ethics?
Yeah,
totally. The deal with that?
What's the craziest thing that you've encountered? Or maybe that's totally boring too.
Well, I can't tell you the craziest thing that I've encountered because of those ethics. And the code, okay. I work on computers, right? For all you other listeners out there, I work on computers. That's what I do. All right, so I deal with big amount of other people's data.
And you're brilliant.
And, well, everybody knows I'm brilliant. But,
Well, more than the rest of us who know very little.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm more brilliant. I mean, yeah, everybody. But thanks. It's always good when somebody else says it about me instead of me having to, be my own promoter here. But yeah, the techie code is summed up as this: it's my business to make sure everybody else's business stays their business. So yeah, anybody who wants me to work on their...
And that's an issue, right? Because you, like, for instance, will work on a computer, take it back, and you do what? Where that could be a problem, and like, I don't understand any of that.
Where what could be a problem?
Where, like, say if you're working on my computer, all my information could be vulnerable unless you do something to keep everything separate because you're, like, working on a huge network. See how much I don't know?
Yeah. No, I'm not working on a huge network. I have a separate network for that, and everything is secured. Because, I mean, I used to be a computer security administrator. I'm paranoid as heck.
You were an internet cop?
Well, no, not really. I was responsible for security at this company I worked for, which actually was a bank. So so we needed to have heavy security.
Hey, I'm going to listen to you on the radio. I got to go back. I'm working the register, and it's produce day.
Yeah, I know. You said.
Okay, see you later.
Cool. I'm going to stop by and get some apples, maybe some oranges. Bye-bye. Whatever. I don't know what buttons to hit anyway. This one? No. Screw it. Can I say screw? If not, I can always edit it out later. So, as for the election, right, Vladimir Putin shoots whales with a crossbow from a Zodiac that he's driving himself. I mean, forget Jowls. Okay, that is the kind of guy that I want running this place. I mean, Wisconsin, it stinks. Jersey actively sucks. Right? And, and they're, everything there is obnoxious. Wisconsin, just boring. I was pretty interesting when I lived in New York, gosh darn it. But, if I'm boring now, that's because all of you guys rubbed off on me. But anyway, so the election, right, that I decided I will talk about, there are lots of issues, right, lots of big important issues, and one of them that I did not hear discussed at all, okay, by either candidate, is their point of view on what to do about the illegal aliens. Now, I'm not talking about, right, the illegal Mexican aliens, right, or the illegal Canadians, right, or the illegal Swiss, right, even though I've been seeing a lot of illegal Swiss lately. Oh, yeah. But, those aren't the ones I'm concerned about. In fact, we should join forces with all of them against the real menace, the illegal space aliens. That's right. They come in here all the time. They come from all over the galaxy, the solar system, and just, you can't cross a national border without going through a security checkpoint or you're illegal, right? And as everybody knows, the border, which is a border between Earth's atmosphere and what is considered space, is 63 miles up, right? So that says to me that anything that crosses that 63-mile boundary, right, has just crossed a planetary border and ought to, be registered, documented, right, and, become a proper member or visitor to Earth's society and human race. But instead, you got all these illegal aliens sneaking through, okay, and I don't care if this is bigotry, right? The worst ones are the ones from Jupiter, right? I know you're not supposed to call them Jupes, but who's going to stop me, right? The Jupes are always just sneaking in their crummy little spaceships, right? Just landing, right? Making trouble, don't have papers, don't pay space taxes, none of that stuff. They come over in their shiny ships, right, from Jupiter and moons, and they just land here. I mean, what are we going to do? And how do you deport them? What are you going to do? Build a $750 billion rocket to deport each illegal Jupiterian? No way. And you know what else? Right? I mean, when we go to their planet, right, which, by the way, we do, it's secret. You know, it's not just NASA, right? It's the Bilderbergs and the Rockefellers and the Masons and the Illuminati and the Catholic Church and, the president and the ex-president and the Skull and Bones all working together. But at any rate, so yeah, when Earthlings, right, go to Jupiter, right, you're darn right, we all get documented and have to go through all, and they're oppressive, this, that, and the other, right? And they even claim the moons. They claim that even the residents of the 4 Galilean moons, the big ones, right, are Jupiterians. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Just because they're Ganymedian or European or Io-ish, I don't even know the demonym for that. Let's say Io-ish, right? Those are identities, right? But, as far as I'm concerned, if they're under the government of Jupiter, right, and they come here, they're illegal Jupes. But, those are big. Those moons are big, right? And, Pluto, right? Pluto isn't that much bigger than one of the Galilean moons. And that used to be a planet, and now it's a dwarf planet. The heck is a dwarf planet? We learned my very educated mother just served us 9 pizza pies, right? And now it's my very educated mother just served us 9. Yeah, 9 what? Hopefully cannoli, because I really do like those. But how are kids supposed to remember that? We need another acronym. If I had known I was going to be talking about illegal space immigration today, then I darn well would have come up with another acronym. But I didn't. So make up your own. Make up your own and just call in and tell me what it is. And maybe through this show, then it'll become the new mnemonic device for school children to remember the planets by. I think Pluto is a perfectly good planet. And for those of you who believe in the Gaia hypothesis, right, to wit that the Earth is itself, right, an entity, a being, an organism, which may even be sentient, right, think of how Pluto must feel. You hear me, Freeman Dyson? Right? Why would you do that to poor Pluto? When you think of Pluto, think of Mickey Mouse's dog. Would you kick Mickey Mouse's dog? I'm sorry. I've been smoking too much. You should never smoke. Would you kick Mickey Mouse's dog? On the other hand, right, speaking of dogs, although Pluto got deplaneted, right, and declared to be a dwarf, then, without any say in it, right, on the other hand, around the same time, dogs were upgraded from Canis familiaris, right, a cousin of the wolf, to Canis lupus familiaris. So now dogs count as wolves, and that's pretty cool, right? Even little yip dogs, even Scottish Terriers and, Chihuahuas. I hate Chihuahuas. You know what I am, right? And I'll admit it, I'm a breedist. I absolutely am a breedist, right? And that is not a new word either that I just made up, although it should be, because then I could probably get royalties off it from getting it in the dictionary somehow. But, look it up. There's something called breedism that people are against, right? Which is, for example, right, discriminating against pit bulls for, and saying that all pit bulls are mean, and dangerous, or that people shouldn't keep Rottweilers, right? It's not the dogs, it's the owners. Pit bulls are some of the smartest and best behaved dogs I've ever known are pit bulls, right? But, a lot of people who own them don't treat them right, don't train them right, It's the parent, just like whatever they are. It's the parents' fault. But I will say that I am still a breedist, because even though I am open-minded about these so-called dangerous breeds, Chihuahuas. I hate Chihuahuas. Or any dog that even is part Chihuahua, right, or looks like a Chihuahua, except, because she's probably listening, my girlfriend's dog, who is a wonderful dog, a good alarm clock, a good doorbell, right? Woke me up properly for UPS and FedEx a couple days in a row. Well done. Twix, if you can hear me out there, good boy. Bark. Woof, woof. Yep, bark. Woof. So anyway, yeah, Chihuahuas. They just run all over the place pooping. Right? That's what they do. And honestly, to some extent, right, that is also the owner, because people who own, I don't just talk about purebred Chihuahuas. Okay, people who own purebred Chihuahuas tend to actually let them get away with pooping, right, in the house. I mean, okay, fine, it's a little worse to clean up. It's a little easier to clean up than if Horace, right? I mean, 220-pound Saint Bernard, he would leave a mess the size, half the size of a soccer ball. You didn't pick it up with a pooper scooper. We picked it up with a spade. I'm not even kidding. And, so you can't have that in the house. He was a 40-pound puppy when he was born. He was like a month old. But I don't know if it's because the poops are little or if it's because the owners mollycoddle, right, their Chihuahuas and just accept it, just put up with it. But there was this girl I used to date, right, or sort of date, I don't know. And I think it was the first time I was over at her house, and she had 2 Chihuahuas, and I was, sitting in the living room, right? She was fixing something in the kitchen, and I smelled something, I smelled something that might have come from the rear end of some animal. And so I'm sitting there, right? I'm thinking, ooh, did I just pass gas? No, I didn't. Maybe she did. Right. So, of course, you can't mention that. That's a deal breaker right there. But I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Even if she did, she's in the kitchen fixing something, and I wouldn't be still smelling it now. There's something. Right? And I don't understand what it is. So I finally just spoke up and said, hey, something smells kind of bad, kind of like poop in here. And she just nonchalantly says, oh yeah, Buster, I forget his name, let's just call him Buster. Buster pooped in the corner. Like she just went over, right, and looked by, oh yeah, just a little poop by the lamp, and got out her, paper towels and scooped it up, right? And I'm thinking, you let this dog just run over all around the house crapping? I mean, I don't know. That to me is not a good dog owner. And I don't like people who carry dogs in bags either. That's just obnoxious. And I'm talking about way before Paris Hilton and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm a hipster, okay? I was disliking dogs in bags before it was cool. I went to this one thing where Amy Tan, right, the author of the Joy Luck Club and all that stuff was, and she was carrying around this gosh darn little dog, right? Not a Chihuahua or a poodle, one of those some sort of rich person lap dog, right? And it's a dinner thing. And I don't care if she's a famous author, she's sitting there with a dog in a bag at the table, I mean, I was at the table, right, and her stupid dog, right, and General Wesley Clark, among other people, why would, I don't know. At any rate, though, when you've got that much money, right, then you can kind of do whatever you want. And that's why I hope to have it someday. Apparently not on the radio, because I never professed to be any good at this. Just the fact that I can keep talking is pretty much good enough. But although if you guys would help me out here and call me at 414-935-2951, then that would be really constructive. Except Narissa, you can't call me anymore. So, actually, no, do call me more so then I can hang up on you and stuff. And then call back and be indignant, right? Because that would be pretty good. That could be humorous. But anyway, so the dog in a bag thing, right? Really don't approve of it. But at dinner, I mean, I was a kid. I was like 19, when I got invited to this thing. And I'm sitting at the table, okay, with a general who is considering running for president. I'm thinking, how am I supposed to have a dinner conversation? What do I talk to a general about? So, bombed anything good lately? I mean, I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what he said, what we talked about, because I was so focused on that stupid dog in a bag and the fact that James Earl Jones was there. Because he is just awesome. Ah, good. This is probably Narissa again. I probably peed her off. Hey, you're on the radio.
Hey, what's up, Ruby?
What's up? Who have I got here?
Sorry, what was that?
Who's this?
Oh, this is Matt Trey.
Matt Trey?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, what's up, Matt Trey?
I don't know. What are you guys talking about? I'm not in front of a computer.
Oh, I'm not really talking. Well, I was just talking about sitting at a table at this dinner thing with Amy Tan, right, the author, with her stupid little lapdog in a bag, and General Wesley Clark. And what the heck do you talk to a general about when you're at, when you're like a 19-year-old kid at a dinner table? And how awesome James Earl Jones is, and how awesome it was to meet him. I met all kinds of celebrities, but you know what? The only time I really got starstruck was with James Earl Jones. Right, because when you say
you met a lot of celebrities.
Oh yeah, because then I said Miss Jones, Droopy McGobbler, nice to meet you. He said, "Hi, Droopy, how are you?" I mean, you gotta obviously I can't do it because that's why he's famous for having the voice. But you can imagine how awesome it would be. So what's up? Give me something interesting to talk about. What you got?
Well, not too much. I was listening to your show today. It was last week's show, and I think it had a lot to do about guns.
Oh yeah, no, there was the Ehrlichon cannon and how awesome that would be. Yeah, no, I thought I only spent a few minutes doing that.
Well,
but
actually, I was calling in to see if you had any opinions about this election we just had.
In fact, I do have an opinion, and I was just talking about it, but that's okay because I'll give you a break. I was going to go back to that topic anyway. I voted. I wrote in Vladimir Putin because I didn't like either candidate because he's awesome and he tranquilizes tigers himself and shoots whales with a crossbow from a Zodiac. But I didn't figure he'd probably win because I didn't start a write-in campaign early enough. But you know what I think? Like I was saying, I already said this before, but that's fine because it's my show. I could just say for an hour if I wanted. But anyway, so my view is that neither candidate addressed the issue I wanted to talk about, which was the illegal aliens. Okay. Not the illegal Mexican aliens, not the illegal Canadian aliens, not even the illegal Swiss, and that bunch drives me nuts. Right? They're always making trouble, those Swiss. The illegal space aliens. The ones from Jupiter especially, because they're never documented. They always cross the 63-mile border between Earth's atmosphere and space, right, improperly. And once they're here, they're really hard to deport. And I didn't hear anything satisfactory on that subject from either candidate. I didn't hear anything about Jupiter's claim on the Galilean moons and the infighting regarded thereto, so on and so forth. What do you think?
Yeah, I see a lot of Jupiterians around. Generally, I think they're pretty nice people,
Yeah. Hold on a second. I think I'm getting another call. I'm going to try to switch. Hi, you're on the radio.
Hi, Tom. Drew B.
Yeah, what's up? Who's this?
I was listening to your show the other day, and I was just wondering what you think of, there was this astronomical thing that happened yesterday. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Venus crossing in front of the sun, absolutely.
I'd like to find out your opinion on it.
Well, as we all know, okay, because I told you a few weeks ago, Venus is where, I'm the one among, I admit that I'm responsible for a lot of, things, some of which I'm not proud of, but most of which I really am. I'm the one who put the first alligators in the sewer in New York, and I also did stage the moon landing, and I did it on Venus. So I have a personal connection to the place, but the thing is that with Venus in front of the sun like that, right, the illegal Mercurians could cross, a bunch of them, I think, crossed right in front of it, right, kind of in the shadow and snuck in. You know, and that's just as bad as deporting people to Jupiter, just in the other direction. So, yeah, that's my thought on the Venus thing. What about you? Ever been there?
Oh, I saw it yesterday.
How'd it look?
It hurt my eyes.
Oh, really? Was that
Yeah.
because you were staring directly at the sun?
Yeah, one of my buddies gave me these sunglasses, and I don't know, they're supposed to work or something, but can't really. My sight's maybe at like 10% right now.
Oh, yeah, that would do it, because sunglasses don't do it. If you're going to look at the sun, right, even for an eclipse, and write this down, everybody, except for those who can't see because they burn their eyes out looking at it already, welder's glass number 5. You need welder's glass number 5 or better. Unless you use one of those pinhole things you build in grade school. I don't know.
Yeah, did you ever see that movie, Pi?
You know, I never did.
Yeah, that's a good movie. The guy in that movie looked at the sun for a while, and then started coming up with all these mathematical stuff. Just, like solved a lot of the world's problems and went crazy.
I'm trying to do that in the reverse order, right? I went crazy, and now I'm trying to solve all the world's problems. So, well, actually, no, that's not true. I'm just trying to solve the ones that once they're solved will benefit me in some way. I'm not a civic duty sort of dude. But yeah, good movie. Worth watching?
Great movie.
Should I watch it so I can...
One of my inspirational movies.
You say one line? What's the one line?
One line from the movie?
What's the most quotable line?
The line that I like most is he's talking about this number that never ends, and he says that he's gonna find the end of it no matter what.
Did he?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think it like ended in a 9 or something.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
You know,
it was a long number, you know.
Well, yeah. Was it the number pi, in fact, or was it a different number?
No, he found it. I think he found it. He ended in a 9.
Oh, okay. That's pretty interesting.
It was long, though. It was a long number.
Long number. It was a long movie?
Had something to do with the planets and the solar system.
Oh, universal constant of some sort?
I think so, with like the different ages. And he was going back in these different texts, like ancient countries, and coming up with all sorts of stuff. And I think he evaporated at the end of it.
Well, I was going to say, well, geez, I should look for that number, but not if you evaporate, I won't.
Yeah, it's a good one. Well, I gotta go, Droopy.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Peace out. All right, is anybody else out there? I don't know. But at any rate, though, yeah, kids never start smoking. Yeah, unfortunately, you're going to get me boring again, dude, because, you know, like I said, surprisingly enough, I actually made it through college, right? And what you got in my head was some math. Some interesting math, though, because you're talking about numbers that never end, right? There's a thing called Gabriel's horn, right? It is a solid, or a surface of rotation, I should say. I forget what the equation is, but a surface of rotation, and it has finite surface area. Finite volume, but infinite surface area when you do the integrals. So what that means is that if this thing actually existed, right, you could fill it with paint. You could fill it with something such as paint, with a definite amount of paint. But you could not paint it. Ever. You could never finish painting it. Because Well, I don't know, because all kinds of math stuff. I mean, I don't know. That just seems like a pretty. I'm not going to go into it too far, right? Because this isn't a math show, but it's pretty interesting to me. Imagine that. Imagine taking a bucket of paint, okay, that has 5 gallons, or that's 3 times the square root of pi gallons or whatever, right? And taking a paintbrush to paint the outside of that can, and you empty the can that was just holding all the paint without finishing painting the surface. That's pretty awesome, And that makes me think of how much I want to paint the White House black. Now, don't take that as a racist comment, because it's not, right? I don't care who lives in it, right? I want to do that because I want to draw a mustache on the Mona Lisa, right? Because, then I can add it to my list of things I say when I sign off the show. I'm the one who staged the moon landing on Venus. I'm the one who, or do I usually say Mars? I don't know. I'm the one who put the alligators in the sewers, and I'm the one who put the Tom in tomfoolery. Or should I say the Droopy and Droopy foolery? I guess the secret has been out now a couple times. But at any rate, though, that would be so odd. I mean, you can't get near the White House without, you can't spit on the lawn without getting noticed. But if you could, if you had a big enough crew of ninjas or something, and just forget black, paint the White House pink, right? Paint a persimmon pink. That would just be funny. That would be awesome. But I'm not going to go too far into that, because I can't, I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know where that one would go. But anyway, though, back to math. You might find this interesting, right? And if you don't, then you're not smart enough. But you should still listen to my show. Then you'll become smarter. At any rate, though, pi, the number, you must never, ever, ever calculate it in binary. Why? Because computer data is binary. Pi is what is believed to be, pi is believed to be what, mathematicians call a normal number, which is to say it's, an infinitely long number, right? That, that at some point, right, contains every other number, every possible sequence of numbers. So what that means, right, because binary is computer data, is that if you try to calculate pi in binary, you will find yourself in possession of pretty much everything illegal. Every piece of copyrighted music and movies in the world, the nuclear launch codes for everything, right? Other stuff you're plain old not supposed to have that I'm not going to mention what it is, right? The secrets to, where all the treasure is, the money pit, Blackbeard stuff, who really shot JFK? I'll give you a hint. You know who shot JFK? Lee Harvey Oswald. You know why? Because he was a nut. All right. You know why Jack Ruby killed him? Because he thought he was going to be a hero shooting the guy who shot the president. All right. That's it. That's all there is and was to it. All right. But if there were a conspiracy, you could certainly find it by calculating pi in binary and just going down far enough. Right. But then again, I suppose if it contains everything, it would also contain all the wrong answers to everything too. Right, but that was just a little aside that I read about on the internet once. I do a lot of reading. It's good for you. But I make sure to only read stupid stuff. Of course, not anything worth, not anything, just potato chips for the mind. All right. And some people may think that Stephen King writes that kind of stuff, but absolutely not. Stephen King is awesome. Everything he's ever written is awesome. Even in the last few years when he's been running out of ideas, right? Because he is awesome enough so that he just could come out and say a couple years ago, he said, well, J.K. Rowling is a great writer. She deserves that kind of fame. But what the heck is her name? Stephanie Meyer, the Twilight author, she can't write worth a darn. And I really do, I just thought that was awesome. because I really hate Twilight and everything associated with it. You know, I watch every movie as soon as it comes out to get on the internet and insult it, right, and to bash it to everybody and anybody who will listen. But that's another one. I mean, look what I just said. I watch the movies. It's not like I pay for them, right, because I download them illegally online, and I totally advocate everybody doing that. But, right, the point is that there are probably people who pay the $9, right, to go sit through 2 hours of stuff they know they don't like so they can just rag on it and bash it, right? So that's the sort of people that would, volunteer and taste something that you say, here, this is awful, right? Nobody would ever want to taste it. Here, taste it, and they do, right? The people who, when you say, hey, come over and smell this. This is awful. I wish I hadn't smelled it, right? They do, and tend to agree, right? But the point is that awful Stephanie Meyer is making the extra money off of people who hate her crap. The Twilight sites, more people see their ads, right, than just the fans, right? The haters who go on there to bash, right? So therefore, yeah, audience, call me boring, call me stupid, right? Call me whatever. Tell all your friends, because you know why? Human nature is they're gonna listen to me. So yeah, Stephen King. All right, and I think I only got a couple minutes and I have to wrap up here, but I'll say this, right? This is how much of a bad butt he actually is. Okay? Somebody wrote on his Facebook page. All right, and you might have seen this on the internet. I forget why or in response to what, but somebody just posted, bleep you, Stephen King. And Stephen King personally posted back, well, bleep you too, kid. I mean, I'd actually be honored to receive such an insult from the man himself. But, apparently it's already 5:56 and I'm supposed to be done soon. So, don't forget, I'm the one who put the Tom and Tom foolery, and I put the alligators in the sewers, and I staged the moon landing, and I did it on Venus. And you know what? Don't be surprised if the White House ends up pink. So, keep on drooping, shake your gobblers, inflate your bullfrogs, and I will see you. Well, I won't see you unless you come into my studio like you should. But, yeah, listen to me next week, all right? Bye-bye.